Right, the whole idea of this is, for people who aren't design wizards for one, so in other words, you know the basics of Joomla, you know the sort of things you want to get from it, but you don't quite have the technical expertise you need to actually lay out templates by yourself. And, like I said, you're not a design wizard, but you can take a design and replicate it. And that's basically what we're going to be doing. What I do is I use the big brother of this, if you like, is Template Creator, CK. All his products have CK on the end, which just happens to be his initials, which is Cedric. You can't pronounce the last name, it's French. And we've said what he does, all his products are all write basic code. Like the Template Creator doesn't write any frameworks or use any frameworks, it writes just HTML, CSS coding. Which takes a template in. We'll see one of those soon, because what I do is prepare a base template first, like that's got the footers and the headers and that I need, which are easy things. And then I've got all the space in between where I'm going to design the actual, all the different pages. And what I'll step through now, I've just done a little slide here just on the installation and where it comes from and so on. So we'll go through that first. If I go into slide show. There we go, and from beginning, thank you. Right, so let's get off the first one. Right, so this is what it looks like on the site. To download pagebuilder CK itself, that's free. And you'll notice that for some of his products, some of them are free and he has add-ons. We'll go through the add-ons shortly, but he's got another one called pagebuilder CK params. That gives us a few extra features, such as Google Maps, testimonials, a few others. You won't have to write them down, they're on the next slide, and the slides are going to be available anyway. So basically, we'll go through the installation first here. So we've logged onto the website, we've downloaded the page builder, CK, as like all components, comes down as a zip file. Then we just go to extensions, manage, install, and upload that package, which installs itself into Joomla. Therefore, when we go to the components directory, then we'll have Page Builder as one of our components in there that we actually click on and use. Like a lot of these things, they can be used two ways. They can be used to make pages in so they don't appear in articles. Tell me if I'm going too fast here, we do have time. Right, there's an advantage to that these days. Things like Jada Shop and that, for instance, which is a really nice shopping cart, it uses articles as its products and that. So when you use this approach and use Page Builder, and all your pages, in other words, all what would have been articles are all in pages now in Page Builder, and you go straight there and work on them. Therefore, all the what would have been articles can be your Jada Shop products, that for instance, with no mixing around, remembering which is which. So that's a nice feature that it provides. Incidental, of course, because you can actually write articles, write them as articles, but still use Page Builder as your builder. So everyone's okay with installing components? It's no different to any other, like I said. Obviously, if you go to download the paid for one, then obviously it'll ask for its €7 or whatever first. They're not very expensive, anything from there. Right, this is what I was talking about. See the bottom four there with the orange, or the brown it looks like on here now? Brown lines around it, or brown box? They're the extras, the image slider, the Google Map, the testimonials, and the animated numbers. The others that are up the top there, the text box, the icon and text, single image, separators and so on, message box, tabs and accordions, are all part of the free one. So basically you can use the free one and do just about most things you need to do, unless you specifically need to add Google Maps easily and things like that. And this is where we'll stop at the moment. Sorry, I've done with my slides. I've got things we'll cover soon. I'll come back to the slides, so I'll just fold them down for a moment. Hopefully this all works. Down there. Right, remember I was talking to you about a base design?
We're not seeing it.
Oh. Why are you not seeing my screen?
Before when that happened, someone else, they slid it across or something, because it must be the second monitor or something.
True, but I just told it to replicate rather than to.
Wasn't working for them either. They were trying to replicate.
Not the way they do the Windows. Oh, I know why. If I get rid of. Now, do this. Get rid of PowerPoint out of there. We'll find it'll probably work then. We'll just go back to it. It'll be easy enough. There's not that many slides.
Yeah.
Right. Oops, that's just the one I wanted. Let's try that again. Carpet. Right. Now, what I've had done this, we're looking at on the screen at the moment. I'll see if I make it full screen. We can zoom in a bit, basically. I've already had this design. This is a home page that's been designed by a designer. I don't have to pay very much to, just to have that basically designed. I give her a brief and she sends me 3 to pick from. I take that one, or the one I want out of the 3, and that becomes mine. And she sends me all the PSD files and everything else I need, all the individual graphics. I've already told her what fonts to use and that. So I've got the look and feel of the page I want, basically. Like I said, I'm not a designer. If I was, I'd be paid a lot more, I think. With that in mind, now the area that's showing on screen at the moment, I mean, there is more to this. If we zoom it right down, stay down, there's a menu at the top. We'll see this shortly anyway. There's a menu at the top, and then we've got our picture and so on. The bit we're going to be working on today, just playing around, is this bit in the centre now. We're going to build this here. So it doesn't matter that you haven't done the template around it. If you're going to be working along with us, you'll be just building from where we are. It's not going to make any difference at all. You just won't see the other bits sitting there, basically. Even things like, see where I've got our brands, for instance? I could have quite easily done this section in pagebuilder as well, but it just lends itself to be done in the original template, that's all. It's just a drop in. So I'll close that down out of the road. Then hopefully you're looking at something similar. Yes, you are. Right, so we've got 2 menu items there at the moment. Both of these, this is just another thing I've thrown across there. We'll look at this soon. There's presets in pagebuilder as well. You can drop straight in and then just change the names to protect the innocent, basically. So that's a 2-second drop in from pagebuilder, for instance. I'm just covering basics at the moment, then we'll start building, which becomes more fun. Right, so if we go back to this, go to, oops, I should have put this on the live site rather than one that's on the server. So what's that? I like to keep everything in one file, in one Google Doc that pertains to a site within the client's thing. That way, when I go to a client's directory, everything I've ever done for that client's in that directory. It's been the most successful system for me. Of course, you can just maintain yours any way you want. Right. Control-V, thank you. Right, so I'm in Joomla. We look down here now. We see we've got pagebuilder there. Go into pagebuilder. This is the interface we get. Now this is the interface where we actually build our pages in there. The who are we is the one I just showed you, the second page with the team, because obviously we haven't built the first page yet, the one we're just about to start on. Do you want to you up to where I'm up to on this screen at the moment? We'll start building as we go. Although, yell out if I get a bit. Good, great. So okay, the first thing we're going to do, we need to add a new page. So we add new. Right, we've got to give it a name. In this case, it's going to be home. Now just see there, see where it says load a model? That's where I was talking about you can get pre-formatted different types of layouts.
I get that if it says I haven't got the params installed.
Oh, right, sorry then. I apologise. I always install params, sorry, because I use the maps and things like that in websites. So yeah, I'm sorry if you don't get that. Well, there's an extra for params as well. Another reason to spend that €7 or €8 or whatever it is. Because some of these are really handy, like that Teams one I used and things like that.
Yeah.
And they come back in where you're able to modify them. So yeah, it's not like you're stuck with something you picked there, for instance. So let's go back out of that.
Which one are
You
you
gonna choose one?
Sorry?
You gonna-
No, I'm not going to choose one here because we're actually, plus the thing I want to do is not one of these anyway.
No,
So we won't be choosing one like that.
no.
We're doing something slightly different round. Right. So right, home. Right. Now notice this section here. First of all, we'll go through that. Now that is a row. If we wanted another row, we just hit the plus button, we get another row. If we want to get rid of that other row, we just hit that, the X, and we get rid of it. Next one down is how many columns we're going to have. We won't add columns, even though we're going to have 3 columns, as you've just seen. We won't add them at this stage. There's a reason for that. We'll design the first one, we'll do all the settings for it, and then we'll duplicate it. That's much quicker than doing it 3 times over.
Yes.
The next one down is just to move it. Once you've got multiple rows there, you may think, oh, geez, that would have been better if I had that up there and that one down here. You just grip that and move it around the rows. CSS is where we go in and style it, which we'll be doing shortly. You can style the whole row with certain parameters, or you can style just the module itself and so on. In this case, we're going to be using, better go back to my picture and check for a minute. Right, so we've got a picture, a title, and some text. So with that one, I think we'll probably do that 2 ways. Take the single image one first. Right. Now with that one, we'll actually duplicate it across 3 times because we've just got pictures. There's no styling to the pictures. It's just going to be 3 pictures sitting above each of those other parts. So we come to here, we go, oh. Now we've got 2. Do that again. Now we've got 3. Then all we do, we go duplicate, pick it up, drop it in, same again, duplicate, pick it up, drop it in. So now we've got 3 pictures. We'll come back and fill those in soon. We can just do the basic layout at the moment that we want. So we need another row now. Right, here's our new row. Now with that, we're going to have text. Block, right, should be right. Text. Yeah, this will be that'll do the trick for us. We'll put our own heading in there. So let's work on this one first. We've got some text I've pre-cut it. If you bear with me just while I pull it up. I tried to pre-do all the tedious things so we didn't have to wait for me to type, for instance. Homepage text, there we go, that's a good one. Right, first one, there we go. Control C. Fold that down to the road. Close that again. Come into here. Now, see the little editor thing there, the little pencil and paper? That's how you edit your module itself. CSS is how you style it. So we'll go back to styling after we've done the editing of it. So we're going to edit the contents. Right. Up the top is our editing field. The reason, now up there will be whatever editor you have set as your default editor in Joomla. If you like most of us, you'll probably have JCE set as your default. So you get JCE like we've got here. If you're using the new Tiny MCE, is it?
Yep.
Then you'll have that set there, for instance. It uses the default editor. So what we're going to do is just paste some text straight into here. Yes. Now this one we're going to make a heading. So we're going to make that heading 2. Remembering we haven't styled any of this as such yet. We'll do that shortly. In there.
Hitting delete on your keyboard while you're using that's really not a good idea.
No,
It just wipes everything.
that's all right. You can start again. Experience. Actually, it's good having someone along like yourself because you forget things that you've been doing for a while and you forget the mistakes you can make along the way.
That's probably a good one.
Yes.
I've clicked on the image, one of the image blocks, thinking I press delete and delete it. Of course, I have to click on the button to delete it.
Yes.
So hitting delete just wiped the whole thing.
At least you've got a clean slate to start with, eh? Like you haven't done a whole page. Really frustrating. Right, I'm not going to do a lot with that now, I'll drop it in. I'm going to go back to styling the actual box we're going to have it in. Oh, except, obviously we wanted that in the centre, didn't we? Where are we? Centre. Right. I've got the template loaded. We can preload, what was I going to say? We can preload fonts. I'm not too sure in this section. Text, here we go. Now, look at that other sheet. Testing. Anton, that's what I wanted. So understands. Just don't have all the information you have on the screen at once. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to look for these fonts. They're already preloaded into the template, which allows us to actually use them in pagebuilder and that now, for instance. So this Anton. Font. Validated. Oh, I've got to type his name first, sorry. Validated. And that should be it. Font weight 300. So set to Google font now. Colours. So I've got the two, the yellow and the yellow, which they call the orange, and that dark grey. So I'm going to set those colours as well. If you've got no specific colour and you just want to move around, for instance, you can. This is like any colour, pick box. Move it to the colour until it looks right for you. Okay. That's going to do the whole thing. Right, with formatting, you've got padding and you've got margins. Margins means it's on the outside of the module, if you like. Padding is on the inside. So it's the padding we want to use. If we want to set them all to the one size, then we can do just that. Just by putting whatever figure we want in here. And that's all we need here at the moment. So at the moment you'll see that all the text has changed to that Anton down the bottom. It hasn't shown up the top at the moment, and it'll be centered. Until we validate it. There we are. So we've got one. The other thing we need to do now is to style the block a little. In this particular one, What you can do if you open up, you can actually, did you see him dragging and dropping before? Who was doing that before, just drop it. You can do the same thing basically, or you can actually load it by editing. So you've got two ways of putting your pictures in. This one you've got to know what the name and everything is. So the easy way, go back again, cancel, is to just open up a little box here to get them in. Direct, images, and first one's the girl lying on there. I'll get it pre-validated. I'll drop in the free images while I'm here. What do we have next? We have lounge room. Whoops. We open that. See, we all do it. We're gone. We'll come back.
Didn't see how you did that.
You didn't
How
see?
did you lose it?
Oh!
You closed it accidentally or something?
Yeah, so nothing's saved. So until you save the actual thing, nothing's actually saved. Yeah. Yeah. Back into our components, back into our page builder. Yep. So we're right over again. So I'll just do that really quick again. View. I normally work on 3 screens for one, plus they're much bigger. 27-inch screens, I can actually see them. I'm getting a bit old for laptops. Right, what I'll do, I'll save as I go this time, which will be a sensible thing to do. Right. What did we say? We drop picture blocks in the first ones.
You can browse for an image from that image select thing.
You can. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting mixed. Like I said, I use the template one as well. Template doesn't allow you to browse when you go through the other method. You're right, you can through your editor in this. So then we just duplicate them. Maybe we make columns first. 3 columns. Duplicate. Pick it up and drop it in. Duplicate. Pick it up and drop it in. Picture as well. I might as well play with the pictures this time. We've been going a little bit. Edit. Select, that's right. Yep. This will be safer. That's dispersing. What's it want? Failed to install an update. Shift. Oh no, control. I got to get multiple. That one and that one from memory. Open. Oh no, I took last. Drop. Open. Browse. Open. That's a big one, that card one. I should have actually shrank that before I put it in there. But anyway, no worries. Right, we've got our pictures in, so we want to pick one now. Which will be this one. Right. And validate it. I guess validate is their English translation of whatever they use in French for doing the same thing as save or whatever.
Yeah. Which is okay or something.
Once you get used to it, it's okay. But yeah,
No, I'm literally translating, I think. Validate is okay.
Oh, rightio. Sweet, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't speak any French.
No.
Have trouble with
I just remember using a French
yes.
computer and it comes up validate and you go, what? And you find out it's just okay.
Tiles. They're not the size of a picture, are they?
Yes, I was wondering what we were going to do about that.
Yeah, so I'll have to fix that ultimately, but at the moment, a new row to work on here. I might actually. No one speaks any French today?
Empty per.
I'm always interested in what that was.
Sweet.
Vera plus.
As you, what's the word under your mouse? Is it like Lear is a book?
Well, yeah, it looks like it. It's a picture of a book.
Yeah, so it might be a book.
Something like sweet.
A suite of images in a book. Set of images,
Oh, right, yeah.
maybe in a book, or
I haven't played with that button yet because I couldn't read what it was. And that's probably the other thing. It's best to actually send an email if you've got questions, Nat, because the documentation can be a little off-putting sometimes.
yes.
And the other thing I'm doing for him at the moment, I'm about to go through and do all his video tutorials with voice, my voice, because at the moment they're silent and it travels too fast. So, do you know what I mean? You sort of skip a bit, pick up, go backwards. I thought that was so tedious for me that I'll go through and do that for him because he's done lots of favours now for me. So what are we looking for again? Go into text.
Anyone like a Aldi's crispy coconut roll? Snack on.
Oh, that's right.
The fact that it's got coconut in it, yes. And that will have a reason.
What about you?
No, just
Rather unusual looking.
Dozing off a little bit, so I only had a few hours sleep, so
Yeah,
sort
I know
of
how you
need to
feel.
chomp on something.
Yummy.
I don't know what they're like.
They're not bad.
Want some more?
Oh no, I'm fine. I'll be careful. Thank you.
Right, we got our text back.
Might do your save again, eh?
Sorry?
Might do your save again.
Yes, that's a pretty good idea. Let's validate at the moment so we don't go any further. Good idea. It's actually quite funny because having computer shops used to tell everyone else to save and I never saved.
Or did your backups?
Yes, we did my backups. Actually, I was an early adopter of the cloud. I think that's magic. You can just set up automatic backups to the cloud, you know it's going to be there. The fact that we don't have to actually style these directly, except for the headings, so I'm going to do that. Centered. Centered. We want that font just for that. No, right here. I won't do it this way now. I was going to change, the trouble is if I change that to the end on there, it's going to change it all the way through. That's the style for the whole module, if that makes sense. What I would normally do, I'm just doing it a bit quicker today, I would normally actually put that heading in separate modules, in line, duplicate 3 times over as well. Reason being because I can then style that separately. We'll look at that in a minute. I'm going to actually style, even though it hasn't on the picture got a box around this, I'm going to style it with a box. want to show you a neat trick of lifting paper smat off. It looks really cool. And it's not very technical, so that's good. So what have we done so far? We'll go back out of there, validate that. We've got that, we've got that. Right, so same thing now, we're just going to add 3 more of those. Again. 3. And then we can go to
Duplicate.
There's 2 ways. I'm just thinking there's 2 ways of attacking this. Because I'm not actually adapting styles, I don't necessarily have to duplicate it and pull it over because I'm going to replace the text either way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what in this case I'll just pull it across. So we just make a text block. So I'll put a text block in each one of these. Oops, I missed it. Try that again. There we go. And another one. The other styling we will fix in a minute, if you remind me, is the padding. We need to pad it so it doesn't go right to the edge. I'll just fix these first. Oh no, let's do it now. If I forget. So styles. And under formatting is where we find our padding. That'll give it. So go in there to this one now, put text in there. It's one of those things you can actually, it's probably a time saver if you always sort of, you get your base graphics and everything fixed first and your text and all that. That's what I normally do, put it in a big text file. Then I can just drag and drop it in and then just style it basically. Rather than sort of typing it up as you're going, because it's rather tedious. Now we're going to make that space in between there. And we're going to make that heading 2 and centered. 2 things we did, and that was it. Styling wise, we just did the validated, and there's no one. Right, once again, just go there, Control V there, space. Heading 2, standard. Validate. It should be safe now. Save. Got that much done. Let's go ahead. Well, we may as well look at this sitting in our template now, get an idea of what we're looking at. So we do save and close. So there's home there, for instance. So we'll go back to our menus now, just the main menu. Now home's hooked up at the moment to a default. So we'll, just the way Joomla comes. So now it's not going to be a featured article. going to be a page and a single page. There's 2 pages at the moment we pick from. We want the home. What else do I normally add? Page display. I usually put a browser title in. We'll save and close that. Back to our website and look at it. Right. Forgive me about the graphic that doesn't fit the box. Basically, we got the what we were looking at in our layout. Except we got some colouring here still to change, for instance. So we'll change the text and the actual font. We need to change as well. Our brands, if you like, is done much the same. I've done it in the template side, but it's just once again 3 blocks and a text block across the top. And these are underneath here. They're done in the template only because it was easy just to drop them straight in and style. The first one's styled correctly. The other 2 haven't been styled yet. I left them like that. Now, if I want to go across to, where was it? Here's an actual website. I'll just do it now. This is all done in pagebuilder, all the front here. See the nice little, like the pages lifting off effect there? The smudge effect. That is really easy to do. Just in the formatting of that module. I guess if we go back and do it live, it'll be easier. We'll just do it to one of these modules. It's not going to hurt anything. And I've got a slide set there as well that actually shows you. If I bring that back up, and make that full screen, which means we're going to lose everything else for a minute. Not from the beginning, from current slide. Right, the first one we go into is formatting. And notice there all I've done is the same thing, but just put a padding around the whole box. Inside the margins, keep the text away. Next one we go to is the next one down on borders. Now we're going to set the colour to that dark grey. We're going to make the line size just 1, so it's just very small line and solid. And then the final step is, right, we use a width of 5. This is under, I can't quite see it back there, but it's in the, if we go backwards for a minute, you'll see which title I'm talking about. It's under the shadowing. So there's only 2 settings in shadowing. I'll have these slides will be available anyway, so these, I'm going to add some more cheat sheets then do them the same, for other little tricks and so on. And I'll offset a free on the y-axis, which means we're pushing it down free. So we're blurring it. Oh, and the other thing is the direction of it, is the outside. We want it on the outside of it, the blur, so the smudge if you like, rather than the inside, because the inside would go back under from the edge of our picture. We wouldn't get the same effect. So that's all I've done to those boxes. That's on that dry cleaner side. So if I get rid of that now, close. And we're back. Close that down. Yep, cool. So we'll do it to one of these now. Save and
That's
close.
the one in the template, is it? Or
Sorry?
that's the template. Oh no, it's a page builder one.
Yeah, what it was, I hadn't saved what we just put in there again. Lucky, lucky. So now we can actually go back into that page, in Page Builder. So we go to Page Builder. So we're in the menus at the moment. So we go to Page Builder again. We go back to our home page. Doesn't matter which one we can put on, I guess. Probably one of the pictures that we need. Let's do it to this picture up here. Once again. Actually, the other thing I should have done while we're talking about formatting, styles. You will get used to these things. They're all laid out the same. All these tools are the the similar layout in the behind the scenes, the styling and everything else. So it's just one of those things you get used to where to find things after a while. The only thing, I'm going to pad it like we did before on the other one. Then we move down to the borders. In this case, I'm just going to use a white line so we don't see it. And make it 1. Oh no, I'll have to make it grey, sorry. That's it now. Grey, I'll say okay to that. Then we go to shadowing. So a blur of 5, offset of 3. You can play around with these, moving them up and down till you get different effects or different depth of effect. One I want to do, I'm just about to send him a thing. Have you seen the ones where they curl at the bottom? Where it looks like the page is folded up? That's just a way of blurring down. And I've got an email I've got written up ready to send to him to add that feature in there. Just means more settings he's got to put in. Right, so we'll save this again, we'll validate it. Won't see it there. Save and close. We'll refresh on our front page. And I haven't done what I said I was going to do. Outside.
Very nice. So do you duplicate that?
Sorry?
Can you duplicate that onto the other
Oh, the styles, yes.
images? Yeah.
I was going to do that, but it's not the effect I wanted to give you then. Back to the drawing board, eh? Back into home. Set one of my styles here. Oh, I know why. That was nice, but let's do it here. Formatting. It's 10. Borders. Somewhere around there. Okay. 1, solid. Shadow. 5. 3. Validate. Get rid of that inner one. Back into there. Back to styles. Padding and the get rid of the borders. Clear. Size as well. Alright. And shadow. Validate. Save and close. Generate. Module. It's working perfectly last night. That's how I made the slides up.
I can't seem to get a drop shadow to apply, so
No, I was just about to go back. I've got it in the module.
I'll try 4 different ways.
The way to do it, we should be working on, the place I just worked on is where we should be working on. Which is in this styling up here.
Yeah.
That styling means for that module.
Yeah, to try that, I can't get drop shadow, it will be the shadow.
So, go to the format.
Get an item that's got a border have shadow as well.
Oh yeah,
I thought so.
yeah, definitely.
Did you go down to shadow?
Shadow. Oh,
Yeah.
one little minor mistake I missed.
Second colour to
Because
do
it
the
was off
shadow.
the slide when I did it.
You're going to do it the same colour as the line,
Yeah,
roughly?
I was. I'm just
Yeah.
picking roughly here,
Yeah.
but it'll be close enough. So yeah, normally you would use the exact colour. We'd snap it. If we wanted to do it properly, we would. You know how I had the orange and the grey?
Yeah.
We'd be using that grey because obviously everything's got to match. Now we can validate that. Oh, I didn't say it. There's 2 bits to that. Oh no, it has saved it. Good. Got to be careful with the colour picker because you hit the OK button before you save it normally. Save and close.
So it doesn't render the new shadow doesn't normally render the new shadow. You always go to the page to see it
No, it'll be in the
in the
my
page builder.
smaller screen has given me some issue. You can normally see it in the display area below. As you apply these things, there is a display area underneath it of what you're doing in your styling.
Yeah, it's not showing there. But giving up.
You're giving up?
On the shadow, I mean.
I'm not giving up.
How much longer have we got?
Yes, that's true. 2 feet. No, we're looking good. What I'll do next is add a few more of these other modules in there, the different styles and so on that we can use across the bottom that aren't in the original template, of course. Formatting, template's fine. Borders, it's fine. Let's see 575, it's okay. Solid, yes. Shadow. Makes any difference. Oh, hang on, my fault.
Not
It's not a spread, it's a split. It's a blur. Let's now save this.
Validate.
Yeah, validati, whatever they say.
oh yeah, there we are.
There we go, we can see it there already.
Lovely.
Geez, it took some getting there, didn't it? I was half asleep late last night and I was able to do it straight away. Maybe that's the trouble, too awake. But just something so simple to actually do. Like I said, it'll be on the slides, the settings. So if I was able to flick between, look at them both together, I could have seen where my mistake was. But things like that you can do quite easy. The only other one I'd like to do you can't do at the moment is, like I said, if you imagine that blur going down on the corners, it looks like your page is folded up from the corner, or your photo. It's just, you don't use it everywhere, you don't overuse it, but it's a nice feature to be able to put in sometimes for different sites you're doing and so on.
Using this page builder
Yep.
makes your template in Joomla totally redundant, isn't it?
No, not totally. We've still got, remember I said we've got a base template behind there that I've made with template created. We need a base template, but basically apart from the headers, what's in the header and what's in the footer, we can fill in everything in between.
Okay.
I mean, to the fact of putting sliders, if we wanted a slider up the top of this, for instance, with pictures like the C General, we can just drop a slider straight in, which is in the add-on pack, but it's there to be done. Google Maps we can stick down the bottom. Image slider, which we just seen. Tables, so you can make pricing tables and things. Social icons.
The videos, would they go in as images or
Well,
if you wanted a video?
I was going to say, why don't we find out, because I've never used social icons yet. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? So let's grab them, drop them in.
The video is responsive.
Sorry?
The video is responsive.
Yes. By the way, everything we're building here is fully responsive. Is a good thing. It'd be pointless if it wasn't these days, basically. But yeah, everything is responsive that we do, including your videos. And you can actually turn you can actually go in and turn certain things off. There's settings there where you can turn off certain features in your responsive. You know, you want certain things coming up on your phone. You don't want too many things lined up, for instance, too much clutter.
I had a look at that and couldn't work out what was going on. I could stop things from.
Yeah, that's what it does for the settings.
That's all it does.
Yeah, that's just your responsive side if you turn those things off. Yep.
Yeah.
So let's go to edit and see what we get here in this. There we go. So we've only got 3 at the moment. Facebook, Twitter and
So those are being populated elsewhere in the global settings, or are those just random items in there?
They're the 3 that
Oh yeah, see
Joomla
Joomla.
at the moment.
No, I mean the URL link.
They're just random. Oh, that's the graphic link up the top.
Yeah.
But as for this, they're all set to his
Site, yeah.
site at the moment. That's right, his Twitter account. Yeah, that's a good way to get people back there, isn't it? Yeah. Then you've got dimensions. What do we get in dimensions? And the alignment of them. We want them in the centre. Let's do that. Space between them, we can space them out obviously. If I put 10 there. Validati.
So would there be quite a few different page builder sort of companies that offer all sorts of little design elements?
There are, but the trouble with all the rest, I don't know how to explain it. The reason I stick with this one is because this one doesn't add any bloat at all. You're not building on
anyone?
bloat.
Oh,
You're not building on top of frameworks or anything else.
right.
It's all he uses direct code back into the Bootstrap and that. So the only framework we have loaded is what comes with Joomla, which is Bootstrap free at the moment, for instance. So we're not adding extra frameworks. And extra frameworks they have so much stuff in them that they take up and slow down the sites. So your sites are much quicker. And that's probably why I stick with these. And the good thing is he's responsive to ideas. Like I've asked him for things and he said, no, there's just too many of those on the market. You know, it's not worthwhile even sticking that in. He doesn't do it. But one of the ones I had done, I think, was, it might have been, I forget now. Oh no, the contacts one, that's right. Originally it didn't have contacts in there, it's just a drop-in contact sort of thing. Now, as they were speaking about today, because we've got the fields and so forth built into Joomla itself now, you can actually design up your own contact pages the way you want anyway. But before we never had that feature built into Joomla, we had just their contact page was just a preset certain amount of fields and that was it. If you wanted anything extra, you had to use a third party to do it with and build your own. I was just going to look at this again. I've got a feeling we can probably add, we'd be able to add our own straight in. See this add item? All we have to do is grab the icon and put the links in. So say you want YouTube or any of the others, or we just grab the graphic for it, which I don't have, of course. For something very small. So that would be another button on there then. We got the link and where we wanted, we put the URL in for where we wanted it to go to and where the link actually was. So now for instance, if I just validate that off, the picture was a little big of course, just slightly.
So the Apple Store or something.
Yeah. But you get the idea, we can add other social icons in. Not to mention these ones can be bigger as well. We can change the graphics we've got there if we wanted those bigger. We can have them left, right, or wherever we want. We've got the same thing in placing them. We can put an extra field over there so they're all to the left. We can move them to the left, sorry, to start with. We can put them in a certain position, but by just how we set out our page or our page builder. There's also, if I got here, what I will do, I'll just get rid of our apples first. It wasn't a good one. But it's nice to know we can add, we're not just stuck with what he's got there as social icons. We can add as many as we want, and we can make them bigger and clearer if we want to, and so on. Sort of a nice feature. Modules for, if you drop a module in, that allows us to use any of our Joomla modules that we've already got made up in there, so we can just drop that module straight in there. Things like, hang on, I'll show you one that's got modules. Like a flipbook, say you wanted to use a flipbook, for instance, on your page. So, go back to here, I've actually got one on the side. Where are we? No, wrong one. No, there's psychic. That must be up the page. Page 2. There we go. Right. So this whole page is done in pagebuilder, but mind you, haven't said that. There's only one thing on this particular page. But because we did the whole site on pagebuilder, we just kept them all in the one thing. So this one's just got a module box up there, and that's it. And in that module, we've dropped the module for the flipbook. So, yeah, I mean, the things that look complex like that are actually so simple to do. That particular module is a board module, of course. There are free ones out there, but this one, we did a lot of experimenting. For ease of use and what we wanted to do, it just takes a PDF file, basically. The backgrounds and that you can do yourself with whatever images you want and so on. So this one is really easy to do. What else was there? Once again, this whole site is built around, I'll just flick through some of our pages on here. This whole site has been built around pagebuilder. This is the tab. We've used the tab section here rather than a heap of different pages. Just makes it easier for the particular points the way they wanted it. Simple meanings, once again, was made easy in pagebuilder. This would have been tedious without it. Come on. There we go. So all this was laid out in pagebuilder. It just made it really easy to align it and everything. Because if you ever tried aligning pictures and text together in an article, you know what a pain that is. Yeah. Someone's screen size changes and suddenly where you had it is nowhere near where it is anymore. And then your other option is to what we used to do in HTML is put it in a table and make the borders of the table invisible. But what we're doing in the same respect then is adding all this extra code in there that we don't need. Any other questions, please?
What's the leader of the suite?
Wasn't someone going, okay, I wonder if we can do a copy and paste that into Google and then do a translate on it. Well, I think the gentleman over here was right when he was mentioning about it's a suite of something in a book, because the icon's a book as well.
It could be a flipbook within an element, yeah.
Well, yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? That's something I never knew I had. So the suit. I'll have to write that down. My memory's not that good.
I can do that.
Images.
Read more.
What is it?
Read more.
Oh, it's just to read more.
So the read is where the book.
When I clicked on it, I was like, okay, where's the little icon sitting underneath it?
Oh, okay. There you go.
It's handy to know. I don't know where it reads more to.
Oh, no, it'll be just the
Context,
you have to
openable.
look up the link to it, I'd say. Where are we? So if I dropped it in, let's just put an extra column here for these for the moment. Right. So we'll drop it in. Oops. No. Oh.
You just put text in it now, probably. maybe what follows has to be open. So,
Or is it
there it is, bottom.
It's right down the bottom. So it's
I can read more to reveal more content on the page or something?
Yeah, and it's at the bottom because you
well,
want.
no, we can have a look at it, can't we? Just let's save it,
Yeah.
save and close it.
So there's nothing more.
There's nothing more to read, no. Normally that would be linked to somewhere, unless it's one of those that opens up all the text. But then we should be able to put that into a module.
The icon appears as well, though. What's going on with that?
Eh?
Like on the front, I just saved, and the little book icon with the green arrow has appeared.
Oh, has it?
Maybe it's because I don't have the text.
Everybody, have we?
It's strange.
In fact, we've got nothing.
Are there any full page width ones? Like, are you always going to be constrained at the left and the right with the template?
Oh, no, that's up to your template when you make your template.
Yeah, but it has to be done in the template so that you can do it.
Yeah, it's done in the template. But if you use, from the same guide, the template creator, you can do those things really easy, or you can do your,
But like, does that? Oh no, the templates work.
It'd just be that one block, though.
yeah, you can make that block
You can't have parts
full width.
and other parts constrained.
Yeah, you can. What you do, you just put them in different wrappers. So you put a wrapper for the, what size you want. Whatever's in a wrapper,
Yeah.
every other div in there is formatted by that. So if you put another wrapper, there is no limit to how many wrappers you can have in a page, basically. So you can have the top full width, like you see sometimes, middle constrained, and then all the footers full width for that as well.
And in Joomla, you have a template for each page, don't you?
Sorry, no.
No.
It's one template for the whole site. You
Okay.
can, but having said that, you can actually have templates. You can apply different templates to each page.
Yeah, that's right.
Very
But-
rarely use it.
Yeah, rarely do you do those sort of things because you can actually style it all yourself, without changing templates. Yeah, I suppose coming from the WordPress
Yeah, just
background, that's
thinking
where those things are different. Yeah,
I've been using a different kind of page builder in the WordPress space, and
yeah.
they make a thing of the fact that it's easy to get a full width.
Well, if I'd made this a full flow
Template.
then I still could do the same thing. I could style the middle to be as wide as what it is, and so on. And then
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
it's just where I've set my guidelines, and I've set this one to 1,000 pixel wide for no other reason than I like 1,000. So,
Is there a way to see to the mobile view that results?
what am I running? Oh, Firefox, mine. Apart from loading it on your
Mobile site? Yeah.
Um,
That's alright if you don't have it handy, just.
no, but you should be able to. If not, I'll bring up Google.
Yeah. It's already happening.
That's why I was saying that comes that other feature why we turned some of this off. When I went to a mobile, we'd only want them getting sort of pertinent things. I'd turn off the top picture up here, for instance, which is no good. Oh, the other thing we haven't set yet in the menu, I haven't done it in the template, is change it to, when it goes below a certain size, I change it to the normal mobile menu. It's just a click setting, basically, in the template creator. So they're still appearing there, but they wouldn't appear there. They'd be just the little folds of papers.
Yeah.
Do these templates use off canvas for mobile, or is it drop down?
No, you can pick either actually. So that's what I'm saying. They're in the template part of the creation, but not in there what we're doing at the moment. Page builder is for the actual content, and template creator obviously is to create the base template. But once again, the template creator is just as easy to use as what we were just using page builder, and looks very similar, except you have to remember when you're dropping things in, you're doing things slightly different. Like we said, if you wanted different widths and that, you drop wrappers in. If you only wanted to keep it all the same like this one, you only need one wrapper, and you just put your blocks inside that. It has pre-starts you can start with, for instance, as well, and there's a whole lot of pre-made templates up there where you can actually choose one that's near to what you want, load that up, and then just go in and change blocks and that to suit. I think it's made work fairly easy to get around once you get used to using the interfaces and so on. Like I said, my problem here is probably the screen more than anything else. Is the smallness of the screen and not having multiples of them. You get spoiled, I think. Plus, like I said, I'm getting older, so looking at the small screens gets more difficult. It's like coding. When I was coding and I was getting older, young people would come in, they wouldn't print. We used to print everything we coded to check it out on paper, which is a waste of paper, of course. The young kids, when they come in and start programming that, they did it all on screen. They just scroll up and down their screens. So that's just a change.
The problem is it's no going back.
Sorry?
It's no going back. I used to use laptop screen and a big screen.
Yeah.
Then the laptop screen, I cracked it, so I put a second big screen on. Then when I fixed the laptop, I put it back, and now I've got 3. And now I want 2 portable monitors for when I'm working away, not 1.
Well, that's true, but did you see what I had set up downstairs?
No.
I've got here. You can get these. They're really cheap.
Well, I'm using a docking station. Yeah.
It's a USB. No, it's just a USB screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was looking to buy one. Yeah, I'll have a look after if you want.
They're really cheap, and all they are is just they weigh nothing. I carry it all the time.
What's the brand? Where'd you get them?
AOC makes these ones. You can get them here anywhere.
Yeah.
They just fold out, and all you have is the USBs to plug in,
Yeah.
and you've got the second screen.
Yeah,
It's just USB screens.
I'll catch your model.
AOC.
On the back if I
Okay.
Thank you.
But you're right. Once you start, when I'm sitting in the hotel and things like that, I have 2 screens, make things a bit more bearable. It's only a size thing,
I
man.
wanted to get a touch version so that I could keep it laying,
Yeah.
so I'd have a full screen on the desk, and that one would go to the Mac rather than
That might be
Windows.
pushing the friendship.
Yeah.
Touch work. He's actually worth a lot anyway. I need it.
expensive. There's one around, but it's it's a bit expensive.
Well, hopefully that's helped you a little bit, guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
good.
yeah, thank you.
I will be finishing these slides. There'll be those ones we just did with the blur, which I'll redo that graphic where it's cut off. What I've got there, cut off where the colour was. And there's a few other tricks that I've put together. I've saved at home, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
How to do things, because my memory's not the best anymore neither. So if I don't write it down, then I have to experiment all over again.
Yes.
But it does make laying out websites so easy. And like I said, because it's written in raw code, it cuts down your bloat. So you're not adding all this extra stuff in there and bloating your site way out and slowing it right down.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's quite clean.
Yeah, it is really clean, CK stuff. And that's why I use CK for that very reason. And he's got there's a lot of other products. He's got Module Beautifier, which is really, you know what we just did, for instance, just putting that blurred line around. He's got something which is presets, so you just click on them and you get all different types of effects. You get the ones with the ribbons across the corner, and all these things are made so easy. And like I said, because he has the thing, if you work on both WordPress and Joomla, not that I do, but if you do, he's now created the products for both. And with the template creator, for instance, you can just export from one with a gambit and import it directly into the other one and have it up and running straight away. So it's done pretty neatly.
What are the articles and modules and sections?
Sorry, what's the...
In the page builder, there's 2 other bits, articles and modules.
Oh, yeah, the modules was what I was talking about, is the modules where you can drop in a module like we looked
No,
at.
I don't mean that. I mean the main screen and page builder underneath pages.
Hang on, let me get back in there, sorry. Oh, now, that's what they are. If you want to work in an article,
Yeah.
that would be page builder actually working in the article, so it would appear in the articles column or your content column.
Okay.
And modules, I'll click on modules because we can actually do that one.
Yeah, this was happening to me. I clicked on modules and articles now.
Yeah, and what it is, we'll click on page builder and we'll create a module with page builder, if that makes sense, in a page builder page.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
So it's just a different approach to it. Rather than using that module thing and dropping the module into it, we can create the module with page builder. Yeah. That's a good question. There is a lot, and the nice thing is because he's completely on the ball all the time and updating it, one, it's always updated, so when we have changes in Joomla, things aren't falling over, just automatically apply. And they're on the automatic updates as well, which means as long as you've got a subscription to the whatever, you can just hit the update button, it automatically updates for you. That's about it, I suppose. I can't say too many nice things about it. The only other thing I like, which we're not seeing unluckily because Stuart couldn't make it along, was Jada Shop, which I think I also love now. And it works with this, like I said, because we keep all our articles in pagebuilder. Therefore, Jada Shop's nice and clean just with our shopping cart stuff.
Is that
All the
just
products.
J2
Shop.
Isn't
Yep.
it like a store?
Or Jada Store.
Oh,
Jada Shop, Jada Store.
the Australian version, the store
Yeah.
is the American version.
Yeah. But it's an Indian. And I speak to him quite regularly on Skype. Very nice guy. And once again, if there's not something in Jada Store that you need, you can't find some sort of gateway or something, his team will get together and basically put one out there. And they've got so many add-ons and that for that now, it's unbelievable. Stuart's done a real lot of work with them. Stuart is no long from Brisbane. He's had a lot of other, because he's got specific, really large, he's using it on a client, for instance, that's got 70,000 odd line products. Huge company. They also interface and read directly from their SQL database in real time and update for all the shops because they've got multiple shop outlets as well and so on. So it just shows that Joomla is not something that's only restricted to small business. Stuart works predominantly, except Stuart has the background of SQL and that as well, and SAS systems and that, so it allows him to interface.
It's robust enough
Oh, definitely robust enough.
and simple, clean, as you said.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Oh, Jada Store as well is. Jada Store, you can set up and have a store running within 10 minutes.
how do you spell it? Jane?
It's actually on, if you went to the website, I'll get the correct spelling for you, but it's on
Jane
our website because they sponsored us as well. Not the reason I'm pushing them, but I chased them as a sponsor for that reason.
Just JStore.org.
Yeah. Two is in number 2. There it is. Up we go. Oh, hang on, check now. Go to extensions. Someone asked me about a payment plugin. Which one was it?
Anyway,
Ah, that's what was asked. Was it you that asked it?
no, right.
Someone else asked me the same thing. I said, I'm sure it would somewhere.
That's pretty much all like there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I said I'd be very surprised if they didn't have it because, yeah, I mean, they've got so many there in the payment gateways, half of them I haven't heard of.
Why do you like eWay?
That works fairly painlessly.
And it's got
Relatively cheap as far as
Charges.
it's certainly cheaper than going through any of the bank's direct sort of services.
Yeah, it's
And it's really easy to set up, basically.
its percentages are cheaper as well, so that makes it cheap in your transactions, which all add up.
They
doesn't
also
it?
do a not-for-profit rate as well.
right. I'll have that down.
You have to contact them about that, but yeah, just on their website.
To know. Thank you.
There are so many. Geez.
And yeah, it integrates with most
Most banks.
Joomla things I've come across as well.
Oh, okay.
Any sort of Joomla payment system.
Yeah. There we are, Australia Post, and it's free. Don't know why we get Australia Post free. You've got to pay for the other shippings.
That's Australian connection.
No, it might be because Stuart sourced that one for him too, maybe. Stuart's actually paid them for some of their coding, and with the agreement they can add it in and so on, so to their offerings. Because they'll do one-offs as well if you need certain customisations and that.
Yep.
They'll actually do that as well. I love Serena's business card. Not easy to put in your wallet, but one you remember, isn't it?
Poster.
One you can sit your drink on.
Sort of promoting.
Do you know how to stop? Yeah. Right, guys, thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.